Okay, so first of all, many thank you to all of you. I know that many of you would have had a very difficult choice of choosing between cricket and optimizing asset performance. So how is India doing right now? Huh?
They
It's
don't know
okay?
because they
We don't
come
know.
here.
Okay. So good. So we are on a very important subject. What's happening is this that as the world is becoming more electric, as the world is becoming more and more conscious about sustainability, decarbonization, etc., it is important for all of us to make the most use of our assets. Uh, so today's subject is that how can we optimize our asset performance? How do we make sure that, and all of you would have assets in your factories, you will have assets in your buildings, you will have assets in your data centers and so on. So how do you optimize your assets? How do you make the most use of it? You know,
Yep.
so that the world becomes more sustainable. So that's the topic of our you can say discussion today. Thank you for it. Just to quickly introduce myself, I am Ramesh. I head the services division of Schneider Electric. By services, what we mean is that we have a mandate to drive the best use of the assets that I supply to you. So this is what we call it as asset management. You would have seen some of you in the booths outside that it is asset management services. So what it means is that right from the way you design,
Yep.
right from the way you design, right to from where you think about the specifications, it has to be tailored towards the, you would say, the most efficient and most cost effective solutions. After that, it comes about how do you use the asset. And in that phase, digitalization is very critical. How do you look at assets performance? Then you talk about that how do you maintain your assets? So what are the right maintenance practices? And then when you are modernizing it and when you are retrofitting and revamping, what is the best effective way of making sure that you replace it with the most optimal asset and then dispose the old one in a responsible way. So as Schneider Electric, we are working across the phase of right from design and specification to maintenance to digitization of your assets for the right predictability to modernization. So that is the topic of it. I'm Ramesh who manage it, and then I'm with her Alejandra. We call her Ale. She is a senior leader in Schneider. She is in services. And Ale, a quick introduction about yourself.
Thank you, Ramesh. Very happy to be here. So my name is Alejandra Sierra. I work very closely with Ramesh. I'm heading the global commercial service organization, where basically we are trying to come with all these kind of amazing offers that Ramesh is explaining, especially on the asset management part. And if you have not done it, but I'm pretty sure that I hope that we are going to give you a really nice overview. I really invite you guys to go on the booth where you can see with more details what we are going to tell you about.
So Ale, let's start the discussion. So I know that as Schneider Electric, services, you all are working and investing a lot of time in asset management services. So from the global perspective and from being the think tank in Schneider Electric, what do we
Why?
mean by it? What is it?
That's a
Yeah.
very good question, and I also think that why we do it, right? And when you look at all the starting for the electrical infrastructure, is the backbone of industries, is the backbone of buildings and all the infrastructure, right? When we see the peers that the world is, advancing, how change is becoming frequently, we need to ensure that we maximize the availability of all the different assets. And that's why we talk about asset management. And of course, how we maximize the availability at the lowest cost is what everyone wants. Maximum availability, lowest cost. And that's why you were mentioning before digitalization. And I think that we are all very familiar with the concept of maintenance, starting with corrective maintenance, then we start saying that we were going to do time-based maintenance, and then we came with a condition-based maintenance. And that's what we really want to push on the electrical assets, and of course you are going to see on the data centers with all the sensors. that we are implementing to ensure that we can look at the condition of the asset and really prevent before there is a failure. So at the global level, how we are also supporting you and you, our customers, and really ensuring that we develop the right sensors and behind that the right analytics to do condition-based maintenance. And we have really good products there. But that's what we really want is be your partner to ensure that we maximize the availability of your assets, and that will be reflected, of course, on better customer service for your customers and lower cost.
Yeah, there is a very interesting example. What we do is that we do service melas. So service mela is basically we go to one location where there are a lot of customers, and then we meet them and try to understand what are the needs. So when I was in North and we were meeting a paper manufacturer, it's a process. So what he said was this, that if the drive fails, then obviously what happens is that a lot of paper gets wasted. And then you have to, and you have a standby drive, by the way, you have a standby drive. But the time taken to change over the drive and then bring the process into consideration, if it happens 10 times, you are already recovering the cost of the entire drive over the full year. So stoppages are costly, process is very important, and that's why the assets uptime and making sure that we are able to predict failure is important.
Yeah.
So regarding that, Alec, can you a little bit talk more about EcoCare and ET, because it looks like EcoCare is everywhere in this,
I hope
Electrama
that you
this
have
time.
noticed that because we really put a lot of effort on that. So I think that we talk a little bit about asset management, as Ramesh was saying, with a kind of very precise example, how the minimization of the downtime can be reflected actually on money. But what condition maintenance means and how from Schneider we are helping you on that. And we have really good IoT sensors that you can see also downstairs, starting from the transformer. We have the what I call the ET, the constructor expert transformer, that basically is an online sensor that you can install, and you can measure the condition of your oil transformer online and be able to understand if you have some deviations. Then it comes the analytics. It's not the only sensor that we have. We have temperature sensors, we have humidity sensors, and even partial discharge. That is a kind of a failure that if occur in an electrical system that can represent a lot of damages and a lot of downtime. All these sensors, what is the beauty is that of course we can do the online monitoring for you, do the prediction of the failures, and you mentioned EcoCare. With the EcoCare offer that we have for electrical distribution and now for data center, imagine there are failures that you cannot avoid. You can predict, right? So you can predict rather than having the paper jam and having I don't know how many days of outage. We can predict, and then of course we can link in the EcoCare offer all these digital services with our IoT sensors, with field services, and be able to send some technicians to repair or do the outage in the minimum time. So what we are really trying to do is combine the digital maintenance with the field services, with the EcoCare offers. We will have different tiers of offers depending on your needs, and help you monitor the condition of your assets for the critical equipment, and be able to help you in the way you would like to when there is a failure that is due to occur or has occurred, basically.
Yeah. So I'll give you a few examples because
that was my next question.
Yeah.
Because this is very, generic, but I think that it will be really good to understand more examples of how, because by the way, India has been one of the first countries where we have launched the offer EcoCare. So you guys have become, I guess, the masters globally. A couple of examples that have resonated with our clients on EcoCare.
Yeah, it's very interesting when this EcoCare offer was launched, and what it was like this, that nobody in medium voltage or low voltage says that I want maintenance, because the asset does not, there is no failure in the asset. If there is somebody, there is a technician next door who comes and maintains it. So why do we need annual maintenance contract at all? Now I'll give you some of the examples of where it has really helped. For example, we talk about the ETE. It's a real case that there is a steel manufacturing unit in which we had our ETE sensor. That sensor sensed 1 month in advance that there is a partial discharge problem in the transformer, and then we said okay, and this was through the analytics which showed it, and then we said okay, there is an issue. Our CSH, which is a connected service hub, connected service hub is like a team which sits in Bangalore. So all the data which comes through our sensors, they get relayed to this connected service hub, and from there they are able to download the data. They called the customer and they said there is a specific issue on your transformer, please check it. So the customer did a well-planned, you can say, stoppage, stopped the process, looked at the transformer, there was a problem. And with that, they were able to solve the issue in a very planned way. Or else, you all should understand that if the transformer fails, then what kind of havoc it creates in the down the line. Because a transformer failure is always catastrophic. So that was one example, and actually the customer sent us an appreciation letter. Second example, we have something which is known as motor current signature analysis. Now we have motors everywhere, isn't it? In all the processes there is motors. Now there is a solution which is based on the signature of the current. So as the motor will work, if there is a bearing issue, if there is a bearing alignment issue, or if there is some problem in the motor, there is a foreign particle, etc., the current signature changes. And based on the current signature, we have an AI-based mechanism which predicts that this is the problem. So here again, the sensor was there. Our CSH picked it up. They called the customer. They checked it, and then after that said, yes, you had said there is a bearing issue. There is a bearing issue. So the point we are making is this: that now you can say the technology has advanced. Of course, we can have a visual inspection. Of course, we can have a planned, maintenance, etc. That is always there. But just like you have a watch on your hand, and your watch on your hand tells you that what's your blood pressure, what is your, oxygen levels, etc. It helps to have a sensor and then a notification to you that what is the issue. So that is all about, I would say, EcoCare. But EcoCare, LA, what we discussed when we talked about it, that it is not only digital, but it is also about 24-hour SLA.
Yeah.
So if you get EcoCare, we provide you a 24-hour guaranteed SLA from the OEM saying that if there is any problem, we'll come to you within 24 hours. EcoCare is also about a 4-hour remote SLA that you can call a real expert on phone, and that person will guide you to solve the issue. EcoCare is about 24/7 monitoring. So if it is sensorized, then again our CSH is monitoring it 24/7, and they'll alert you if there is an issue. EcoCare is about connected, what we call it is customer success manager. So there will be a person from operation, not the sales guy. So there will be an operations expert who would be interacting with you on a every monthly basis or once a quarter basis and tell you that how to make the maximum use of your asset as a true asset management consultants, And of course, EcoCare is about spares, about training, etc.
And that point is very important because we have been talking here a lot about minimizing downtime and predicting the failure, but also how we can get most actually from the asset that we are operating. And Ramesh gave a really good example on the transformer expert sensor on how we can detect failures. But another good case that we have in Australia, for instance, is how we were monitoring the transformer to maximize the output, for instance. It was the Melbourne Tennis Open where they needed to operate at maximum capacity, and they used the sensor to really ensure that they could have everything upgraded. So it's really ensuring that we can minimize downtime and measuring the condition of the asset, but why not improving the performance as much as we can? Of course, tailoring the needs of our customers.
No, absolutely. I think, I think the crux of the matter is this, that digitalization is an important part of, you can say, to the next level of how do you move from preventive to predictive. We talked about it just now when we were having a cup of coffee, was this that in some respects we have moved from if the problem has happened, then let me react to it, which is reactive, to planned maintenance, which is preventive, to now actually doing condition-based maintenance, which is predictive.
Yeah.
So that's what, in some respects, optimizes asset performance. So LA, since you brought out this topic about Melbourne,
Yeah.
so we in India are very curious about what's happening in other parts of the world. So what are the trends that you see across the various countries of where Schneider Electric is there, from the point of view of how they are thinking about asset performance?
I think that imagine in India is as well the general trend that we are seeing is really the whole AI boom that is coming, and how we can really leverage AI in different aspects when we talk about asset management, from really doing a lot of improvement on the whole analytics for the condition-based maintenance with the different IoT sensors that we have, but also again how we can predict better and how we can help all the service representatives of the engineers with AI to ensure that they can respond faster to under center conditions. I think that a trend that we are seeing in other parts of the world, we were talking before, for instance, in Europe, the labor market is pretty hot. It's really difficult to hire technicians in certain geographies. Germany, that it was the kind of a country known for the really good level of technical and engineer expertise. Now all that kind of working force is going to retire. So how we can leverage, or how we can with AI have all that kind of technical knowledge integrated to the analytics, integrated to this offer to ensure that we can respond very fast. So we are seeing a lot of that trend, and I think that the next evolution on the whole offer of eco-care and asset management is really to ensure that we have, of course, the sensors, we have the analytics, we have the 24 hours remote monitoring where we can support our customers depending on the needs, either taking the phone or answering any kind of technical question, or deploying, as you say, the technicians to repair any failure, and how we can enhance all that with AI, the technical support also. And at the end, we need to hire younger technicians. How with AI we can ensure that they can have the best information possible to support your needs with all this kind of labor market technical disruption that you are seeing. So what I really see, and I really hope that in 2 years when we come again, we are going to present a lot of things on AI. We are presenting partial discharge, we are presenting eco-care for data center this time, and then a special booth for asset management. I really hope that next time we can show a lot of things on AI, how we are really supporting through AI all this kind of condition-based maintenance and our engineers in the field.
Yeah, and LA, on a lighter note, you may have a manpower issue in Europe. I'm just a quick show of hands. How many of you think that we are not getting good engineers on the field? Just raise your hands. It's later.
Why don't you raise the hand?
Yeah. You see, look at him. He's really saying yes, 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 it is. See, in India, we have a lot of manpower, which is true. But one of the issues in India is the skilled manpower, the expertise manpower. That's an issue,
And that's the real part that you can manage with AI. And not only AI, but also augmented reality. So again, there are a couple, not that I want to promote, but I want to promote, there are a couple of really good demos actually on how even a technician with an iPad or the Meta Googles, you can really see the equipment, get technical support, and even having the work instruction to be able to repair. And the latest one, I don't know how many failures we have in the past because the paper working instruction was not the latest one. Yeah. So it's a matter of optimizing the asset, minimizing downtime, and safety.
So I'll give you two examples, just to build on it, and which is there in the, you can say, Electrama demonstration. You should go back and see it. It's very interesting. Yeah. One is this, that endoscopy. We all have endoscopy. We put something, God forbid, but it goes into our stomach or whatever, and it gives you the details of what is there. So there is a solution for our MCCBs where it goes into our contacts and it tells you, once it is inside with a camera, it will tell you how much is the pitting and whether there has been a short circuit, what is the life, etc. And the point is the camera captures it, and then after that the AI actually takes it back, does its analysis and says that whether there is a life which is still there in that MCCB. You do understand that MCCB is a molded case circuit breaker, so it is not designed to be, in some respects inspected. But this is a solution which does that. It is AI driven. That is number one. Number two solution is XROA, which is our extended reality. So again, it is there. You should go out with an XROA. What happens is this: that you stand in front of your, let's say a breaker, or whatsoever. It will build a digital twin image of the same, and then you can access what is inside in a virtual manner. While you are, it can help you to train. It can help you to give the figures which are actually what is the voltage level, what is the current level, what is happening inside, etc. to you virtually. And it also helps you maintain the database of all of those data in a regular manner. So very interesting offer that you would see. And all it is, everything is asset management performance. So all of that is linked to optimizing asset management. So I think that was very quick. LA, you have anything from your end that you want to add?
No, I really invite you, if you haven't had the time, to really visit the asset management booth, where you can see the main pain points that we try to solve with the offer that we are here telling you about, and what all these sensors, condition-based maintenance, analytics, extended, augmented reality can help you with. So no, I really invite you. At the first time that we have a booth like that. So next time it's going to be AI. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So I think we had an engaging session. But what I'll do is that I'll just open up for Q&A and questions from you. I'll pass on this mic. But before that, a quick. Really liked it. I don't want to promote, but I'm promoting. It's like
commercial. We need to promote it.
the statement. So just to explain to you what is there outside. Of course, there is a full Schneider Electrama. We really welcome you to look at the entire thing. So there is, if you see in the middle, there is the automation section. On the back of it, there is the entire grid to plug strategy. There is home and distribution, home space inside. On the back, there is a zone where one of our new assets are there. But on that side is services, which is where you will look at it, where you look at that from the point of view of end customers, for a data center customer, for an industry customer, for a power and grid customer, for a building customer, what are the typical pain points? And for those pain points, what are the solutions which are possible? So we would encourage you to look at it, explore it, challenge us that what solutions are there, what solutions you think are very important, but you still doesn't figure us on it, and we'll come back to you with some kind of, you can say perspective. So before I end, any questions, I'll pass on this mic to whoever wants to ask a question.
And if you want any further information, it's Ramesh, myself, and we have
Stefan at the back. We have Vinayak.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, hi. So you mentioned something about sensors that got to do with transformers, that it can detect some fault level or some oil level. Are there also sensors which detect the neutral grounding value of the earthing that is done to a transformer? Because I believe if the neutral of the transformer is not grounded properly, it can lead to some sort of malfunctions with the transformer working. So does Schneider provide sensors that can actually check the resistance value as well of the grounding pits that are connected to the transformer?
Yeah, so Vinayak, you want to answer that? You are an expert here. Many a times we have to bring in the experts for these kind of questions.
Yeah. So we have so there is a sensor called Vigilome, which measures the insulation resistance of the grounding circuit. So maybe we can have a chat separately and we can explain. And it can be connected to our EcoCare platform, and you can monitor the ground resistance also.
Anything else? So thank you for listening to us patiently. Asset management is the game, and let's go for it. Thank you, Zohar.
Thank you very much.